What is going on, everybody? Ryan Rich, or Ryan M, depending on, I guess this is definitely going to be on my second channel, or the one that's going to surpass my main gaming channel in just a couple seconds, probably, whatever. Pretty soon, probably. So, Ryan M Entertainment here, even though usually my sports stuff kind of stays on the Ryan Rich channel. But, alright, so quickly, I just wanted to recap the insane night that was Sunday night. I mean, it was just insane of upsets, and I'll get to the wrestling ones in some different videos, but for this one, let's just real quick, let's talk about the Celtics coming back in that crazy game, and LeBron just kind of not showing up for the game. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent thing, or maybe he was just sleeping on, or if he was having an off night, somebody gave him food poisoning. I don't know what happened, but it was not a good night for him, and those are a lot of the reasons why people kind of look at him and say, how can you compare that guy to Michael Jordan? It's a little unfair. A lot of people have more off, like everybody has an off night, but Michael Jordan dealt with it too, so LeBron, you're going to have to deal with it. If you want to chase the ghost of Michael Jordan, then, you got to deal with these kind of things. But, I mean, the way the Celtics just played in that second half, coming all the way back from that huge deficit, was very impressive. And then that lucky shot at the end by Avery Bradley, that roll-in could not have been any more Celtic-like, any more lucky, like a horseshoe up the ass kind of lucky, because it was close. But nonetheless, it did drop. So obviously the Celtics took a game, and the Cavaliers, for the first time since being down 3-1 in the NBA Finals last year, have lost in the playoffs. I expected them, before the playoffs had started, to lose a little bit earlier. And there's been a couple times where they came real close, especially against the Pacers. The Raptors didn't really give them too much resistance. But against the Pacers, there was 2 games, I think, one where the Pacers came back, I'm pretty sure, from a huge deficit. And then, obviously, the game 1, where they almost lost if just one shot had fallen. But, I mean, not a lot of interesting things have been going on in this playoffs. I expected to be making more videos about the playoffs, but just nothing too crazily going on. I'm hoping soon to get started up on a whole sports-like series going on, where I talk about like a couple different topics, like ESPN or something like that, but like for my channel, give my thoughts and opinion on a bunch of different topics. But just as for right now, the Cavs need to stop sleeping on teams. But then again, it's not like they've been in too much trouble. But the Pacers almost took a couple games from them, and it's going to cost them some rest now because they slept on the Celtics without Isaiah Thomas. And without a ball-dominant guard who's going to hold the ball for a good 15, 18 seconds, roughly around there, you're going to get a lot more movement, and you're going to see a lot of guys try to step up and take that spot because it was so established that Isaiah Thomas was in that spot. Now you're going to see guys like Al Horford, who were kind of getting trashed a lot of the season. Oh, he should be playing better. He's not playing up to task, and then he played pretty damn good last night, especially in the post. Showed his post game. Tristan Thompson, he was kind of on him a little bit. So, other than that, Avery Bradley dropped his shots. Marcus Smart getting more opportunities. Definitely like to see that because Marcus Smart's a good young guard. This game might have sealed the fate of Isaiah. A lot of people were saying maybe he would be traded. Maybe they'll work out something, or maybe they just draft the point guard now, because it's pretty clear that with Isaiah as your front-running man, your ball-dominant guard, you're not going to beat LeBron James and the Cavaliers. And that's nothing against Isaiah, but when you're 5'9", and that sucks for somebody like me to say, when you're 5'9", 5'8", however short he really is, because that's literally my height, 5'8", like, you just can't be the number one guy to go at the king. And if so, you have to have a spectacular supporting cast. I mean, because AI did it, but once they ran into Kobe, Shaq, he was gone. They couldn't win it. So, hopefully Isaiah either gets a partner in crime. I don't know if Gordon Hayward would necessarily be enough, but I kind of hope to see him go one more place. I feel like the Celtics, it's just not the right fit for Isaiah anymore. Like, after the season, they're gonna have these picks. It's a point guard heavy draft. Unless they traded for Jimmy Butler and then they have the best backcourt in the league. Because you could say the Warriors have 2 top 20 players in their backcourt, while and the Wizards have like 2 top 25. Trailblazers, same with them. You could kind of argue where Beal and McCollum are and all that, but this would be 2 top 10 players if you get Jimmy Butler and Isaiah Thomas. 2 top 10, top 15. So 15 of the best players in the world in the same backcourt. If you play Jimmy Butler as shooting guard, obviously. So, or you could play Jimmy Butler at the small forward. I don't know what you necessarily have to give up in that trade. Maybe if you trade the number 1 pick, you get, because I doubt it's just going to be Jimmy Butler straight up for the number 1 pick. You're probably going to have to give up somebody else. Maybe give up Terry Rozier, or don't give up Marcus Smart though. He's probably your best option coming off the bench. And then you have Jimmy Butler, Isaiah Thomas, Avery Bradley, and Al Horford, and then fill in the power forward position. Maybe Serge Ibaka comes in. That's a great team, and I think they could definitely compete. That's a lot of defense. Avery Bradley, Jimmy Butler, Serge Ibaka. That's a good defensive front there, and together Ibaka and Jimmy Butler might be able to do some damage on LeBron. So yeah. That's just where I see it going. Either this team, I feel like they're just 1 or 2 moves away from maybe being able to contend with this team. I think they showed it here tonight when you have that ball movement, or last night obviously. When you have the ball, like, anything's possible. So if you have the right strategy, and they have one of the best coaches in the league, in my opinion, in Brad Stevens, when you have the right game plan, and if you have enough talent, you can steal a game, but it's different to steal a whole series. They're going to need a little bit more. And, yeah, so let me know down in the comments below, what do you think? Where do you think this leaves Isaiah Thomas? Do you think this says anything about maybe what's going to... Do you think this game, Game 3, has affected what the Celtics might do with the number 1 pick? Because now maybe they see, okay, maybe Isaiah Thomas isn't the guy. And maybe instead we draft Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, and then we trade Isaiah Thomas for a different star or a pick. I would hope they wouldn't do it for a pick. Maybe Isaiah Thomas for Paul George. They're both free agents after next season, I believe, so that could work. Maybe if the Pacers want to do something like that. I'm sure there would be other key parts going on there, but that would be a damn good Celtics team. Imagine Markelle Fultz, Avery Bradley, Paul George. Then you could send Jay Crowder to the bench to join Marcus Smart on the bench. So that's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the description. Not in the description. In the comments down below. See y'all next time. Peace out. Have a great day, everybody.